Big games all across the Lone Star State in the first round of the Texas high school football playoffs. This is the most blatant case of false advertising I've seen since my suit against the never-ending story. We're fixing to pick 'em. Welcome into Fixin' to Pick'em in partnership with the NFHS Network, your guide to the Texas high school football weekend. My name is Greg Tepper of TexasFootball.com. Thank you for tuning in. It's the first week of the playoffs. There's big games all over the state, and we start in Southlake. 7:30 p.m. Friday night at Southlake's Dragon Stadium. It's Southlake Carroll welcoming in the two-time defending champion Cedar Hill Longhorns. What do we make of this clash in 6A Division II? Well, number one, home field advantage. If you haven't heard, the UIL is using a pilot program this year in which the higher-seeded team in the first round of the 6A playoffs can have home field advantage. That means that Cedar Hill, who's won 2 consecutive titles, has to travel to Southlake Carroll, where they are particularly good at home. Does that matter in this bi-district matchup? Key number 2, ball security for Cedar Hill. The Longhorns are very reliant on making sure they take care of the ball. Their quarterback Avery Davis has been excellent at keeping control of the pigskin, but in their one loss to Mansfield, he threw half of his interceptions, 2 of his season's 4. That is a key to this one. Can Southlake Carroll force a couple of turnovers, or will Cedar Hill be able to control the ball? And number 3, Little Jordan Humphrey. Southlake Carroll running back Little Jordan Humphrey is the star of this offense. Yes, I know, Southlake Carroll throws the ball all over the yard, and they've got Mason Holmes, an outstanding quarterback. But for me, their offense begins and ends with their outstanding running back, Little Jordan Humphrey. If he has a big game, that's good news for Southlake. If he doesn't, that's good news for Cedar Hill. Who am I picking? This is as close as it gets. I like Cedar Hill. I think they've got the explosive weapons on the outside. I think they've really started using running back Kagan Williams to their advantage right now. And even though they're on the road, you don't pick against the 2-time defending champs. I think Cedar Hill comes away with a win. Meanwhile, in 5A Division I, 7:30 p.m. Friday at Tyler's Rose Stadium, it is the most East Texas playoff game of all time, Longview and Lufkin in Tyler. What do we make of this clash of titans? Number 1, is it the same song, different verse? Remember, this is a rematch of their Week 1 matchup, in which Longview won 21-20 on a blocked extra point. Expect nothing less than a very tight ball game. Key number 2, Lufkin's defensive pressure. This Lufkin team is so much better when they're able to get pressure with their front 4, especially defensive end Bronson Massey. It's going to be up to Longview's offensive line to keep this front 4 at bay to let the Longview offense operate. And key number 3, Longview running back Tylen Miller in open space. The running back for Longview, Tylen Miller, is a superstar. He is a burner once he gets into open space. For Lufkin, they have got to make sure he doesn't get out there. Meanwhile, Longview is going to try to find interesting, unique ways to get him out in space so that he can make plays. When he has the ball in his hand, he is a threat to score every single time. Who am I picking? Give me the Longview Lobos. I think they're peaking at the right time. I think Tylen Miller is a game breaker, and I think their defense has really made strides as the year has gone on. Expect nothing less than a very tight ball game like we saw in their Week 1 matchup, but I do like Longview to beat Lufkin. In 5A Division II, Texas City takes on Angleton in a very fascinating first-round matchup. The running game for Texas City, especially running back Xavier Simpson, is so key to this one. I think this is a very close game into the fourth quarter, but I like the Stingarees. What a showdown in the Panhandle in 2A Division I as Wellington takes on Abernathy. This Wellington team has got to find some consistency going into the playoffs. I do think they get by Abernathy, but I think it's very, very close. And how about some 6-man action? 1A Division I has one slobber knocker of a matchup as Blum takes on Abbott. I think the winner of this game has a legit chance at winning that region and making it all the way to Abilene for a state title game. For now, I like Marcus Washington and Blum. But those are far from the only big games across the Lone Star State in the first round of the playoffs. Let's get to the lightning round. In 6A Division I, I like DeSoto over Coppell and Klein Collins over Humble Atascocita. Staying in 6A D1, I like Westlake over Round Rock and Weslaco to edge Los Fresnos. In 6A Division II, I like Pearland Dawson to beat LaPorte, Hendrickson to beat Austin High, and San Antonio Brennan to edge Corpus Christi King. 5A D1, Denton over Grapevine, Manor over Bryan, and San Marcos over San Antonio Harlandale. 5A Division II, El Paso Isleta over El Paso Burgess. Frisco Lone Star just barely over Prosper, and I'll take Gregory Portland to beat Somerset. In 4A Division I, I'll take Decatur over Stephenville and Kaufman to beat Paris. Staying in 4A Division I, I'll take Jasper over Brownsboro and Gatesville over Taylor. 4A Division II, I'll take Crum to beat Godley and Fairfield to beat Diboll. Elsewhere in 4A Division II, I'll take Wharton to beat LaGrange, and I'll take Crystal City to beat Llano. 3A Division I now, I'll take Brownfield to beat Littlefield and Whitesboro over Caddo Mills. Staying in 3A Division I, I'll take West over Troy and Marion over Hitchcock. 3A Division II, I'll take Colorado City over Reagan County and Paul Pewitt over Winona. Elsewhere in 3A Division II, I'll take Marlin over Rio Vista and Stockdale over Tidehaven. 2A Division I now, I'll take Bosqueville over Hico, I'll take Harper over Holland, and Corpus Christi London over Flatonia. 2A Division II, Sunray over Sudan, and give me Roscoe to beat Wink. I'll take Italy over Era and Dehennis over Agua Dulce. That's going to do it for Fixin' to Pick'em in partnership with the NFHS Network. What games did I miss? Leave comments down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/DaveCampbells. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/DaveCampbells. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, where you can see our daily live show every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com/live. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the playoffs. We'll see you next week.